reacting to us, but I'm blurry as shit. There we go.
We are live.
So now we're not blurry, Andy. We're not blurry.
Like
we're not blurry anymore. Look at Andy's epic hair. Das, you like this, right? Little late summer glow up. I
Kick
like
off the
it.
fall, right?
Dan, are you on? Because you're blurry for me. Is there like a delay to once you go non-blurry?
Can you see me now? Am I still blurry?
You're blurry as shit.
There you go.
Oh, there he is.
He's tuned in.
Thank you.
All right, everyone is here. Hello, everybody in VeeFriends Nation. We see the chat. We see you all. We are absolutely live. It is so wonderful to be with all of you. Big shout out to the full chat. Please tell everybody where you are in the world as we are live on multiple platforms, the VeeFriends stuff, YouTube, my Twitter, my GaryVee Twitter and YouTube, and then the VeeFriends channels.
Correct.
Which ones? All of them?
YouTube and Twitter.
Got it. So double YouTube, double Twitter on this Wednesday night, September 6th, 2023. We are here with Daniel. We see him. Daniel, how are you, my friend?
Doing well. Super excited. I know the community has been really excited here to see the new art reveal on the VeeCon 2023 tickets. VeeCon was not too long ago, and so I'm really excited to be sharing this with the community.
Yeah, me too. Everybody who's here, let me give you a little framework. Actually, Andy, you got any comments you want to say about the late summer?
I'm just excited to be here for today. I've had multiple conversations with the artist. I had a combo with the artist and yourself early this spring to kick off the combo and see the evolution of the artwork, to have Daniel interact with them. I'm just really excited. I think he's a really dope artist. I think he's a really unique individual, and I think the artist is going to...
Brett Hall's asking, are we doing a VeeCon 2024 announcement right now? We are not.
We are not.
But how close are we, Andy? The people at home want to know.
They're dying to know. It's coming soon.
Do you predict, without getting yourself as like, you're the worst and you fucked up, like, do you believe it happens this month, or do you think it trickles into next month?
September. You
are confident here? Daniel, did you see that? You are confident that it is a September announcement?
Yes.
My dad's 70th birthday is September 10th, 4 days from now.
Yes.
Will it happen before then?
No, it will not.
The New York Jets are going to blast the shit out of the Buffalo Bills on September 11th, Monday night. Will it be before that?
That will just be momentum to the announcement.
Do you believe next week's in play?
No, I do not.
But the following?
Potentially. With
confidence in the last?
Yes.
Okay. All right, there you go with VeeCon 2024. Now let's go back to VeeCon 2023. Look, especially with all the names I see here and the community is coming out heavy, we went with a different strategy for 2023. We didn't want art speculation. Like, obviously we're super proud of what we did in 22, but with 23, it was important that we revealed the art after, that there was no speculation happening. For me personally, what was also very important was that we continue down this journey of like a lot of the things that I love about collecting, which is like making bets on people, thinking about this in a long-term window. And so I was really excited about our process of like, we debated a lot of things on where we wanted to go. I think when we introduced, this, and I think we got a video, Daniel, like, I think what I wanted to make sure happened was, much like I think about NFTs as digital collectibles, that created something that is a nice digital collectible for everyone, helps people discover new worlds. We saw something with the latest collab that we did with the eruption, where we changed the background scene.
Really cool. I've really been enjoying seeing the different scenes.
Actually, real quick, everybody in the comments here, seems like a lot of people had a lot of fun changing and creating a more collectible version of their VF2 with Terrell. Just curious on people who did it or enjoyed it or really like where we went with this. Oh, actually, somebody just guessed it. Actually, boom, Michelle got it. Daniel is the artist of the VeeCon ticket. We're really proud of you, Daniel. Let's clap it up for Daniel. He is absolutely the artist.
On his way.
Daniel, can you please explain to us what you thought about when you created the VeeCon ticket?
Listen, there's absolutely no way I'm the artist, everyone. I appreciate the fact that you would even think I would be the artist, but I'm just very proud to be working alongside you gentlemen here and the team to be able to be part of the process. It's super exciting. Such a great point you made, G, about this digital collectible. When I think of VeeCon 2023, to many people, that's their Super Bowl game, the concert that they love, the play that they went to. They have this digital ticket that's going to change. It's going to be dynamic and really embody what VeeCon 2023 meant to a lot of people. And I'm just super excited. Like, this is super, super, again, exciting and different and new and in another realm of collectibles and tickets and experiences, that no one's really doing at this scale. So it's super exciting.
The artist for VeeCon 2023 attended VeeCon 2023. That was their first VeeCon. I did a post VeeCon call with them, and I actually got goosebumps hearing them articulate their summary of their experience at VeeCon, which was remarkable. He said the best and kindest things I could ever hope for about the VeeFriends community, about the event that we put on. And I'm just really proud of that. I'm really excited to have this legacy cemented with this artwork.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Like, I feel like it was important for us to select something that was soulful and we believed in the person. We feel like they tapped in and not, over focus on any short-term or gimmicky. Like, I think in general, we're spending a lot of time thinking about that right now. So I'm excited about it as well. And so, it is not you, Matthew H. Matthew H. thought he was the artist. It's not King Saladin, who we love and enjoyed what we've done.
Please let it be Eric Thomas yelling motivation at me. You can just watch YouTube for that.
It's not Danny Cole as well. Look, I'm really excited about this. I don't think we should drag this out anymore. We're having fun. I think, Daniel, you have a video and we have some announcements. I think it's time. I think everybody should check it out. I think it's incredibly exciting what we made. I mean, it's pretty exciting.
Let's do it. For everyone watching, tuning in, get ready, put the volume up. I'm about to share my screen. We're gonna
guessed it, by the way.
Yeah.
You guessed it? Okay. Let me get this going. I'm going to share a screen, everyone. Pump up the volume. Here is the announcement of the VeeCon 2023 ticket artwork.
I just DM'd him. I know you have this VeeCon. I want to go. And he's like, we got to get you there. I hope that you see the necessity of friendship and circles and the importance of community and why it's necessary for us to be able to be together in alignment when it comes to dealing with things that are working against us. And to always know that we should always be on the same team.
Ed, finish the sentence. Ed Balloon is.
Ed Balloon is unable to fit any of your boxes.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to welcome on stage VeeCon 2023 ticket artist, Ed Balloon. Ed, welcome on stage. Go ahead and click the unmute button and video button. We're so happy to have you up here, man.
Hey, y'all. That was so cool.
It's good, Ed. Click on the unmute button.
Ed,
am I still muted?
No, you're good, brother. You're good. Ed.
Oh, okay, good.
Did you Gary? Did you have a chance to see the comments when you were announced, or not really?
No, I didn't see any of the comments.
I'm so frustrated. We'll get you the screenshot of this. The amount of love that you were getting in the chat right now is obnoxious. Just go full transparency, better than, really, really, really positive. Some people talking about loving to discover a new artist, but in general, you've clearly made a very positive impact on the VeeFriends community because people are really responding incredibly well in the chat. I'm kind of reading it in real time. It's really beautiful. Why don't you tell everybody where you are in the world right now? Because I think it's apropos. And then let's chop it up a little bit with Daniel kind of leading the way with some questions and us jamming all together.
Yeah.
Sure. And so Ed, we have some people that can't hear. If you don't mind, maybe the mute button one more time. Can you guys hear him?
Oh, I can hear him. You can't hear him?
He's good. You're good.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Daniel,
yeah.
You can't hear?
I hear you guys. I hear you all.
Daniel can't hear?
Oh, Daniel can hear me? Oh, Daniel's well. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Daniel's in there. Like everybody can hear, but Daniel,
Everyone can hear but Daniel.
Oh no,
Daniel,
it's not good.
sign in, sign out. Yeah. Ed, oh no, Blur's
We're good.
interesting. Ed, why don't you tell everybody where you are in the world, what you're doing, and then I'll kind of lead questions until Daniel gets set.
Yeah, so currently I am in Korea, so South Korea. So I am with it's Culture on the Chain, and it's with Dead Fellas. They're doing something really cool out here. So I decided to team up with them along with a few other legendary artists, and we decided to come out here to be a part of Korean Blockchain Week, and it's been so cool so far. This is actually my first time being out here, so it's really beautiful to see other cultures, and to see the how like just being in the space and how I've been exposed to so many things that I haven't been before. So this is a beautiful thing.
Ed, why don't you tell all the people who are watching who you are a little bit. Let's do a little like origin story. Let's do 2-3 minutes on you, the artist, because I think for the ones that are unfamiliar with your work, this will be a good primer, and I think we should do that. I know a lot of people are like talking about going on OpenSea and buying tickets, but why don't you hold it down right now and help people discover you for the ones that don't know and didn't react with incredible excitement.
Yeah, so I am Ed Balloon. I am a musician. I am a performer. I am an artist in all, and whatever that means. I'm just more than one thing. I don't like media. I don't like boxes, so I try to do as many things as possible. Anything that really is speaking to me. How I came into the Web3 space was really, 2020. I was supposed to go on a tour. It was going to be our first big tour. It was going to be an international tour, and it got canceled. And how Ed Be the Puppet actually came about was because during this time we had musicians doing like IG performances, and I didn't really find that to be as entertaining or it was self-fulfilling for me because I love performing, and so I really started thinking about it, and I was like, man, it'd be really cool to have like like a digital figure of me, and from there it went into like a stop motion puppet, and that was how Ed Be the Puppet was made. And then from there, we were working on like a short film that we're actually working on, and we started to hear a lot more about Web3. And I randomly came across a Twitter space. At the time, this was Twitter, and I went into the Twitter space, and it was talking about NFTs, and went down the rabbit hole from there. And yeah, being in the Web3 space, even though I was an artist and I was like, okay, I really want to put work out, and I want to like build a community behind my work. I saw that there was like things that needed to be helped, that needed help. And from there, I started like hosting the BIPOC space, and it was me with a few other people, Brittany Pierre and Patrick Wagner. And our goal was to really bring visibility to artists of color, and in the Web3 space. And we were doing that. We were like hosting Twitter spaces about people just talking about their work or just talking about the difficulties in the space. I was always trying to find ways to like get prominent people in the space to talk about their journey, as well as just like resources. So we had resources, to access. And yeah, I've noticed myself being in the Web3 spaces, not only being just an artist that just does visuals, but a builder. And so I think what the beautiful thing is, especially with just working with you all, is I was able to see that there's building in all of us, and it's weird. It's a natural like we tap into that, and we don't even know it like happens. It's not the ego is really removed, as I've seen. And when the ego is removed, there's success in that, and the success comes in different ways, right? It's being able to build friendships. It's being able to build communities. It's being able to build experiences for others to be able to like see what we're doing and get the impact of that, so they can also move that and transfer that to other people. And yeah, that's kind of been my whole thing in Web3, and so this is why I say I can't be in boxes, because I noticed that me saying that I'm like I have one title or anything like that has restricted me. And so I am, if anything, Web3 has showed me that I shouldn't restrict myself. And when I don't restrict myself, I see the blessings and opportunities that I so like, that come my way. So I'm all open to like being, open to these things and out of these boxes.
Ed, sorry about that, Ed.
Okay.
The backstage team destroyed me, but I'm back, better than ever.
Okay. What
I'm
did you
back
get?
in
What
pog
did you
form.
hear? What did you do?
Daniel's back,
Okay.
back in pog form. All right, Ed, talk to me about the art itself. Daniel, are we going to show it? I know a lot of people are commenting in a great way about the creative. People have seen the piece. For the people that have gone to OpenSea or other places and refreshed the metadata, but what about sharing it here, or is that what the plan is?
Oh, I can't hear anybody.
Oh, really?
I hear you,
Okay, one
but I
second.
can't hear. If anyone else is talking, I can't hear anyone else. I can hear
You're muted.
Daniel, but
I hear you, Daniel.
I think Daniel's muted. Daniel's muted.
Daniel, I know I can hear you, but it sounds like nobody else can hear you. The audience cannot hear
Daniel's
you.
muted from.
Ed,
Daniel's muted.
Daniel,
I see Daniel.
I'll pick. I can hear Daniel. I don't know what audio
Okay.
we're experiencing. He was just saying, why don't you talk about, even before actually we talk
Hold
about.
on, Andy. This is the most fun. Why is Daniel super rugged tonight? I feel like he's the fact that you and I can hear him, but nobody else can, makes me laugh. And two, I mean, the comments are amazing. Like people really enjoy. Daniel, why don't you like do weird shit while we can't hear you? Because I like it.
I'm sorry, Daniel.
All right.
I love Daniel. Daniel's awesome.
Daniel's the
is
guy. What Daniel just said is, I want to show the video. Is everyone down to see the video if I can show it?
Yes.
Daniel, I will actually act as your interpreter today. So what would you like to say, Daniel? Go ahead. I'm going to share my screen for everyone at home. Let's show the art. It's super epic.
This is too much.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Loop it again. Again. I need everybody to hear that. Shit's fucking epic. One more time. All right. Listen, by the way, I've gotten caught on it too. Ed, people, really nice reaction. Tell us what you're doing there. What's the art there? What does it mean? Give people a little on the inside scoop.
Yeah. So it's so crazy. So when I was offered this opportunity to work with you all, I really wanted to know what was the goal with this. And I think the beautiful thing for me was going to VeeCon. And when I went to VeeCon, I didn't know what to expect. It was my first time. And I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. Everyone be. Let me see what is this about? And the thing that I loved about VeeCon that I haven't seen anywhere else, and I don't think I will ever really see anywhere else, is that there was a movement. There was a movement that was inclusive. There were voices that weren't manipulated. No one compromised themselves. It was just truth that was out. And I was just like, man, when we're all, and there was love. There was like this thing where we're like, hey, we know what we're doing. We're aiming for something. And I remember I talked to you and you were like, the world is sad right now. And when you said that, I thought about VeeCon. I was like, man, that was the one place where it just felt like we all knew what we're doing. It's a bear market and stuff, but we all knew what we're doing. We all know the goal is to continue on to, uplift each other and to really feed into each other, but still be ourselves. And because I feel like a lot of times too, we feel like we have to compromise to get to certain places, or like, not be our true selves. And when you're able to be your true self, you're able to really be on a team. You're able to really be in that circle. You're able to really give off to another, and that person to another, and that person to another. So for me, that's what I call friendship. And when I saw VeeFriends, I was like, okay, this here is the definition of like, okay, friends. Like, it's deeper than just the term. I think we use that a lot loosely, but it's more of just like, how can I feed into you so you can continue on to move and so you continue on to build. And that was what we were getting. That's what I got. And so I wanted to like really showcase that in this piece here. And with the stop motion puppet Ebby, I do the dancing and all of the the movements, and then we record it, and then we have the animator make it. But I really wanted it to be really heartfelt. I also had this song, crazy enough, the song was recorded in like 2020, like 15 or 16 around then. And so it just really showed like the full circle, just like, we didn't think it was ever going to be used. And then, when you came up, it was like, wow, I have this song. This only makes sense. And so, yeah, I just think this was a full circle moment. And I just, like, if anything, this was, it made so much sense for it to be used for this. And so, yeah, this is the piece, and I hope y'all love it. It was really fun to do. And I also just really appreciate you all for allowing me to have the control to be able to do what I wanted to do for this, but for you also to like give some pointers of just like what you all were like looking for. And I think you saying that to me, GaryVee, did help me think about like, man, because I think a lot of times too we do point on the negative a lot, and we point on the negative so much that we don't know how to like move and keep pushing, right? And that is a problem. And so how are you able to see that, okay, that does exist, but we can still be able to build and do things, right, on this end. And so this was also that too. It was me showcasing like, okay, this is happening over here, but there's still beauty over here on this side. And so that was kind of how this came about. So yeah.
I love it. Couple comments here. One, I saw couple people in the chat. We talk a lot about this idea of like strangers become acquaintances become friends, and friends become family. And so it's just a mantra that's building a lot of momentum. And I think the fact that Friends is so prolific in this NFT, and I think I'm even watching in the chat as people are starting to digest Ed. People are checking out his Spotify. People are Googling him. People are looking at his other creative. I think for a lot of you, based on the reaction I saw, there's a good understanding of why Ed was exactly right to be the artist of this. I think what's even more exciting for me, which was a very big part of me turning, strangers into acquaintances, and now acquaintance becoming friends. AJ and I, others, we really loved his art. Is I wanted to use the VeeFriends platform to have many people in this community, in the broader community, to learn about Ed and his work. And I think a lot of you are getting a glimpse of why we thought he was the perfect person for this. We're going to be opening up Q&A directly for Ed for everyone here in the community for here in a little bit. I just want to say thank you to everybody in the community. We've been pretty head down. Going to see a lot of you at Comic-Con right here at the Javits Center in October. We got a bunch more announcements coming. We got some really action-packed October. I'm looking, I got one more minute here. Back to Friends Become Family, or about family. my daughter just joined high school. Time is flying, and I have to jump on a school function for her in 1 minute. So I'm going to let Daniel and Andy continue here. Thank you to the VeeFriends community for allowing us the grace to do this properly. We're really excited about today. Ed, I just want to thank you publicly for your incredible digital collectible. I think the honestly, the amount of people who are just going to play that in the background in their OpenSea makes me happy. I'm excited to collaborate with you in the future. I think we got a lot of fun stuff brewing. And I want to thank this community for everything, and for everybody else in the community. Like I said today in the Discord, getting excited to get back into the fall and winter. We've got some Tea with GaryVee stuff we're about to announce that I think is going to make this community excited. We got a bunch of stuff with Burn Island. We got a very hectic October that we're going to be announcing. Andy just was on the record for everyone joining late that we're going to announce VeeCon 2024 details in this month. And I love you all. And I think the back half of this session is going to be remarkable. So please get to know Ed, ask him your questions. Daniel, Andy, take it away. Love you all. Got to go to family stuff. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, G. Daniel, can you see Ed? Oh, there he is. Honestly, Ed, I think we'll wrap the call with another debrief on making sure everyone can learn more about you and where they can discover your music and everything. But your energy is so contagious and positive. I would love to just kick it straight to Q&A and try to give as much value to the audience we have with us today to be able to ask you questions. You as an artist, you as a performer, how you thought about VeeCon, what you think about VeeFriends, anything, all access to Ed Balloon. Daniel, if you want to try to select someone to come up on stage with us, that would be awesome.
I can't see the audience, so if you guys want to go ahead and just pick whoever.
Yeah, Daniel's going to help us pick one and bring someone on stage. What's talk a little bit more. What's going on in South Korea right now? I'm personally interested in that. I've been seeing it on social.
Yeah, I think I'm going to attend the NFT Now Gateway event shortly. Just catch some panels, seeing some art, and a couple of dinners. I just had a dinner last night with MetaMask and Deadfellas, so that was cool as well. And yeah, I think this is also me being in Seoul, so I'm just also exploring. I'm vegan, so I'm trying to, check out the vegan spots in Seoul, and yeah, I'm just really trying to take this all in. This is really dope being here.
I love it. Dalton, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Say hello to Ed.
Ed, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you so much.
So one, I gotta say I love it. Two, first off, I want to say I just love the curiosity that you display, the way that you were let me just check out what VeeFriends is. Let me check out hop in Twitter Spaces. Let me hop into VeeCon and just kind of see. I think it shows a lot, and a lot of the community can connect with that because a lot of us got into NFTs and got into the community through VeeFriends, right? And through whether it was attending VeeCon 1 or attending the National or something like that. So I think a lot of us can relate to you basically taking that leap of faith to join the community. And obviously now look where you're at. And so I think it goes to show a lot of people in the community, just kind of what's possible. For you, I guess I want to ask, what is it that got you into creating art? And what was the main inspiration behind this particular video?
Yeah. I hope my mic's on. Is my mic on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah. So how I got into art was it was honestly before I got into Web3, and it was really, and we're talking about visual art here. Mm-hmm. So I was doing music already and stuff, but in 2020 was such a really, I would say, it was a challenging year for me, but it was also, I would say, a year where I was really, I think God was putting me in a position where He was showing me that I had other talents. Yeah. And it may not only be me, with all of the gifts to execute the product, but having a team was able to do that. And it came to the point where I was it wasn't just 2020. It was very difficult for me to make music. Just there was a lot of violence going on and things like that, and I wasn't able to make music. So I had this puppet, and the goal was to like have this puppet like do all the music and things like that. But it wasn't allowing me to. I wasn't able to do anything. So from there, I actually started like screenwriting and doing these things, and so I started like doing these skits using this puppet. And so from there, that was kind of really how I got into like more of the art, and then doing like I have one-on-ones now that is way more, I would say showcases more of like the IRL me.
Yeah,
and I think being in the Web3 space, the beauty of it is that outside this space, for some reason, there's this like restriction that I feel like we put on ourselves as artists, like, oh, we're not good enough, we can't do that, or this is not kind of our lane, so we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And coming into this space, it was like, oh, you can do all the things. There's no rules.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary because a lot of us artists were in the space in the beginning were kind of moving like, oh no, we have to like be this, we have to do this. And we had to keep telling ourselves like, oh no, there's no rules for us. Like, or if they are, they don't exist. Like we can do all the things that we want to do. And that was where I noticed that I was like kind of putting myself in a box. That's why I keep saying that, because for so long, I think the world always like puts you in a box and you feel like you can only do certain things.
Yeah.
But I have ideas and I have visions, and I'm like, well, why not? Why not try this out? Why not try to like, do these things? Because I have this idea, and I honestly feel like, either I can have help to get this idea out, or it's just going to be me. But it's my idea, right? It's my narrative, and why would I want to try to put that out there in the world? And so that was kind of really how I started to take the angle of just like, oh, let me do all these things. Let me do the things that I feel like my heart is telling me to do. Not to just do them because I want to get, all the clout or whatever, but more of just like intention. And I think intentionality was what it was for me to continue to like make art, visual art, and all these things. It was that. So I hope that answers your question.
Do you think that like comes natural to you? Have you always had that as an artist, to be able to just like break out of the mold? I intuitively feel so, but I'm curious if there's like, if so, is there any growth that you've experienced, lessons? I'm thinking about some of the community members I know that we have joining today that are aspiring artists that probably struggle with trying to make something for others versus making for themselves, and like setting expectations against that.
I think, so when it comes to that, for the longest time, it's always been, I had a lot of doubters. I had a lot of people telling me, what are you doing? Like, and that, unfortunately, it doesn't really leave you sometimes. Like, you have to build yourself to say, oh no, those were like lies. But for a long time, that is like, it has, at least for me, it had a toll over me. And I was really afraid to do certain things. And I was really afraid to like take risks. But you really have to, I think what is the biggest motivator when you are an artist is intentionality. Because can't no one tell you what you are trying to say with your work. Doesn't matter if they like it or not. If you are trying to say something with your art and you were able to execute and say it, then can't nobody tell you, oh, that wasn't the right way. You don't know what I was trying to say. Like that was what I was doing. Now, if it doesn't work with you, then it doesn't work with you. But legit, I know I succeeded because I was able to tell my story in that piece. And that was my vision there. I think a lot of times, unfortunately, we are always trying to appease, or we're trying to like, okay, maybe this is going to be it. And that's what I'm talking about with compromising. And the beautiful thing I like about VeeCon and GaryVee and everything is that there's no compromise in there. Like, and I love people who, even if it doesn't work with everybody, that's your truth. If that's the truth and you're leaning in, who can tell you like what you're doing is wrong or it's not right? Like, if that's your truth, they can't tell you anything. And that is the most confident. That's where the confidence comes from. Like, oh, this is my truth. You can't tell me anything. It is hard though, because a lot of times you're going against a lot of these odds. It's just like, oh, well, this is what it's supposed to be, and this is what it's supposed to be. But you don't know my truth. Only I know my truth. And if that's what I'm putting out there, then that's it. You either take it or leave it. So I hope that answered your question too. You got me a little fired up, and so
let's go, Ed. That's the energy I want, brother. Thank you. Thanks for the question, Don.
Yeah, if I can just say one comment. All right, you're good. You're good.
Love you, D.
Yep.
See you. Thank you so much.
Daniel, you got Vicky coming?
We got Vicky coming up. Ed, AK, can you guys hear me?
I hear you
I
loud.
hear you now.
We're
Ooh,
back.
we got Daniel in the mix, baby. Let's
Ed,
go.
I've been dying to talk to you since we last connected, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're as excited as we are to be featuring you. The song, I know we've already said it, is super catchy. Like, I want to hear the whole thing. That's how good it is. The message, the I Need Friends vocals. I'm sure it's already been touched on and I dropped, but I mean, just incredible. Have you guys already discussed just your experience at VeeCon and all that? Okay, amazing. Let's bring up Vicky because like I'm just so pumped right now.
Thank you
I'm
so much. I
excited.
appreciate you.
We got to count you in for VCon 2024. Gary was trying to make me leak the alpha, which my events team texted me that I held strong a little bit. We are announcing by the end of the month. I'm committing to that. But aside from that, no more alpha about VCon outside of making sure that we can have the talented Ed Balloon in attendance 2024. Vicky, good to see you. How you doing? What is your
Hello everyone? Hey Andy, Daniel, and Ed, the artist for
Hi.
2023. It's I hear you a lot, obviously through spaces for a long time. So to actually kind of see you in person, it's kind of like a real
Vicky,
thing.
that's you. Hi.
See, it's the voice.
Hi.
What I wanted to ask, I'll be quick because I know so many people want to speak to you, is that moment when you knew, holy fuck, I'm gonna be the artist, like I'm gonna be the artist. What did that feel like?
It was actually really crazy because so AJ bought some of my Run Ed pieces, and but I never like he got some pieces of like the Run Ed collection that I have. And then I was it. I never heard from him again. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to connect with AJ, whatever. And then like a few months after or whatever, like I see GaryVee, and I'm like, hey Gary, what's going on? And then long story short, we were like talking and everything, and then I get a call and they're like, hey, we want to see if you would want to work with us and do a piece. And I honestly was, I would say, to be quite honest, it definitely made me feel really good, for the lack of a better term. I wanted it to be deeper, but it was something where I do love it when people are noticing the work I'm putting out. I'm a builder, I'm doing all these things, but I'm also an artist at the same time as well. And then GaryVee was like, I see you. And I was like, thank you. And I think one thing you cannot deny is when an artist is seen. That is like one of the most important things to us. And that there, I felt that. And so I think I'm just very grateful for this opportunity. 2 years ago, I would have told you, what are you talking about? How GaryVee, what do you mean? How is that going to be possible? And here I am, going to VeeCon, talking to other artists, helping paving ways to get them into Web3, speaking to, incredible builders like GaryVee, and working with the team to continue on to put art that is truthful. And that is a beautiful thing. So there was a lot that was going through it in my mind, but I think the one thing that really hit me the most was the beauty in being able to not have to compromise. Artists have to compromise so much, and for y'all to be just like, hey, we trust you. I was like, oh man, like that there was something that really spoke to me the most. And so I'm just very thankful. It's just a thankful opportunity, and I'm grateful, and I would, I don't take this lightly. I am very thankful for everything and every opportunity I do get. So I was smiling, and I was like, I want to make sure this is right. I want to make sure it's good. But I'm like, hey, this is my truth. So I hope that you guys love this, and I'm seeing that you guys do like it. So I'm thankful. I'm glad that you like the music. I might put it out. Who knows? But
Did you say who knows? You might. I think it's gonna
feel
be
like
definitely.
knowing this VeeFriends community, it'll be short before we pressure.
Yeah, I don't think the word might is in the VeeFriends vocabulary. It's like it's definitely going to be.
I also am just so bullish on y'all. I think there is this consistent positivity that like it bleeds into other projects and other things, and that there is a beautiful thing to witness. Like even just going to VeeCon and just seeing like how you guys are. I'm like, man, like, yeah, let's go every year. So like, I know I went on a rant. I didn't answer your question, Vicky, but I hope I did answer your question.
That was
right?
perfect, because it comes back to the fact that by you doing this, it shows others in like our community, like it can be done, you know, to keep pushing, to keep trying. Like they look at people around them, and you see the kind of sentiment in the artist community right now is kind of really low. And you go into spaces, and I keep kind of, there's only so much you can say to artists when you know they're struggling to pay their bills.
Yeah, and I would say, to be quite honest as well, there is also a beauty in having us who are here building and creating, uplifting each other. I think that is the most important thing. As we see, there's a lot of people who have left. GaryVee still here, right? There's a lot, you know, I'm just like, there are people who have stayed, right? And who have like been consistent, who are out here. And that is the things that you really should always pay attention to. Those that move with intentionality. Because the ones that move with intentionality are the ones who know that there's a bigger thing that we're doing. There's a bigger idea that we're really trying to go. There's a bigger goal that we're really trying to aim for. And that is the alignment. That's where we're all like in alignment. Like, hey, we're aiming for something way bigger. And so when it comes to like artists like struggling and stuff like that, we're struggling together. Like we should always see that as it's not only one artist struggling. Like we are all struggling. Like how do we find ways to make sure that we can uplift as much as possible, right? Because that's the trickle effect. And that's always has been my goal. It's, you know, it's why I try to do visibility, try to give visibility to artists, do as much as I possibly can, because I know the difficulties in that. And I'm sure GaryVee also sees the difficulties in that as well. And so it's only about being able to uplift what you can and do all the things possible to just make sure that we're keeping this space a space that has artists and creators moving with the ethos that we want. So yeah, I appreciate you, Vicky. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you. Oh man, I finally
You too. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, guys, for having me out.
Thank you, Vicky.
Have a good night, VeeFriends.
Thank you, Vicky. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. To add on to everything that's going on here, a quick shout out to everyone who's on meet.VeeFriends. If you have a question for Ed, we're not seeing any hands up right now. So you've got a question, the perfect time to raise your hand up. I think we got time for a couple more questions. But Ed, I would just like to talk more just about you, your evolution, your digital footprint in the Web3 space. And when I look at your artwork and think of the two big projects, and I wanted to start with the Run Ed collection. If you don't mind just kind of touching on that, if you haven't already, for the folks at home here who are just learning about you as an artist, if you want to just provide some context on that collection, because I think it's super relevant.
What was the collection? Oh, you said Run Ed collection?
The Run Ed collection, yeah.
Yeah. So the Run Ed collection was a collection of 1,000. And my goal with the collection was two things. I wanted to be able to fund my short film, which we were able to do. But I also wanted to, I saw that the bear was happening, and I saw that, you know, artists were having difficulties making sales, and specifically artists of color. So I wanted to put into my contract where 50% of secondary sales will go to the Generational Wealth Ed Fund. And that fund was used to, buy art from artists of color in the space. In addition, I also wanted to really showcase, like, you know, make this collection that has this, you know, this puppet, and really show him like running from Web 2 into Web 3, but doing it through like animation and it being fun. But there is also, like, you know, the deeper meaning of like it's scary and it's challenging and it's story, and the journey is just continuing, right? And the goal fully is to, you know, is to run until you don't have to run anymore, where you have found that place of peace, and that place of, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and yeah, so that was really the whole collection and the thought behind it, and and that was the collection that, you know, I think AJ came across and GaryVee came across. I still haven't collected with AJ, so if anything, I want the VeeCon family to find a way to connect me with AJ. Because he was the first.
I'm gonna clip this and send it to him, man. That's done. That's the easiest one.
We're gonna make it happen. And Ed, you're touching on Ed being the puppet, and obviously Ed B, the puppet, makes a feature in the VeeCon 2023 ticket artwork as well, and I Need Friends. Anything more you want to dive into the character origin that you maybe haven't already touched on already? It's such like an iconic representation of your art.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I was afraid to do. I wasn't, there's always like I was going through this thing of like, oh, do people want to see a black character who is, but it was something I needed to do because this was a puppet where I felt like, oh man, I was in this place where I didn't feel like I could be fierce enough, where I could be like really say what I wanted to. But I had this puppet that looked like he could say whatever. And he didn't have any problems. Like he wasn't afraid of anything. He was happy when he wanted to, was mad when he wanted to. He was feisty when he wanted to. And, and I think at the end of that, like there's freedom in that. I wanted to showcase freedom with this puppet in all things. And I hope that when people see that, they see that. When you see Ebby dancing, there's that black joy there. There's this joy of this puppet. And when you see him upset, it's, hey, he may be mad, but he has the freedom to be able to do that. There's no one saying, hey, you're mad or whatever. He's just free to be upset or be happy or whatever. And because I feel like sometimes as a society, we're not even able to, be the way we want to. We always have to walk on eggshells sometimes. And so this puppet really is that of just like, okay, he's going to do whatever he wants. And I'm a big fan of sarcasm, satire. So he's really big on that too. So yeah. But yeah, I will be making a short film really soon, and I will be making announcements with that really soon as well. Letting you know who this. We got some big players involved with that project as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. And the goal is to hopefully make it into a TV show, but we shall see. But yeah, man, that is Ed B, the puppet's world so far. And yeah, as a musician, I have music on Spotify currently. I just did a drop with Prohibition, which is a generative coded art platform, and I did my first gen art collection. And if you were able to get a piece, it's on a layer 2. Albertrum's layer 2. If you were able to get a piece, you actually get a free vinyl, which will be new music that we will be putting on Spotify very soon. But those who were able to get a piece in the collection will be first to get access to the music via vinyl. So yeah.
That's amazing. And Ed, I'd be remiss to not bring up, as we're speaking about it now too, is Beauty Supply is out of do-rags. If you want to touch on that collection here as folks are learning about you, right? It's another big one. To me, this one really hit when I first was reading through it. Because to me, I described it as beyond art. It's human. It's literally a personal glimpse and representation of
Oh
you.
man, thank you.
Of hair. Like there's so much there of ancestry.
Thank you so much.
It's super layered, textured, and deep. And would love for you to just touch on that collection for folks who may not know what Beauty Supply is out of do-rags is. I think it's super, super epic. I would love to hear your
Yeah. So I would actually, I think Eric Snowfall was the last artist. And
Shout out Snowfall.
Snowfall.
I'm so, man, Ed, I love you, man. I'm so proud and honored and humbled that you were able to be the artist for 2023. And like, I think this platform is so cool because we were talking about spaces or like meet, but I feel like with you on video, you just can really capture the contagious energy that I feel like
man.
Like it's so endemic and natural to VeeFriends, and I'm just like, I'm just so proud, honestly. And Snowfro, amongst anyone that I've met, I've had the privilege and opportunity to meet through this ride through VeeFriends, Snowfro is amongst one of the most humble, kind, awesome artists. And like now that we have Snowfro and Ed Bloom, it's so fucking cool what we've been able to do with our ticket artworks. So thank you.
Yeah, and it's also crazy because that was like my mentor when it came to Beauty Supply, and not to the sense of like telling me how to do the art, but I was like, as I was talking about being truthful and being honest, I did find myself like dabbling and saying, oh, maybe this is gonna be something that the people want. And Snowfall was one of the first people to call me out and said, no, this is not you. What are you doing? And he's so humble but honest, and so he's so nice and kind.
Yeah.
He has to find the nicest way to say it. But he did say it, and I appreciate that because it forced me to do the work. But and to talk about beauty supplies out of do-rags, so I actually did this piece that's on Super Rare currently, and it's called Trap Balls on a Log Tree. And I pretty much manipulated my hair into like a a tree full of locks. And I was actually in like this air bubble ball that had no air circulation whatsoever. So I was like almost suffocating. But I was dancing on this ball, and I had them in this log tree, and so I did this piece, and I unfortunately had some like conversations, like or like I mean I do appreciate the honesty, but I had some people saying I don't really understand this and stuff, and it brought to my attention. I was like, oh man, this is a space where I'm seeing like PFPs with like do-rags here and there, but no one really understands like what they are for. Like it's for hair protection and hair protection for locks, or like or waves, or all these things. And so when that happened, I was like, man, I haven't seen was box braids or locks on the blockchain. And I said, man, I don't know if I can code this. Or I have a team, I have a dev. I'm like, I'm not sure if we can do this, but we're gonna figure this out. And so it took a year to like really get it down. But it was the most difficult thing I've ever done thus far. When it comes to like explaining of like what you're trying to do, and learning, right? There's like all these learning curves that I don't know. But I told you I don't like boxing myself. And if I have the vision, I have this idea, why not go for it? And I'm all about that. And so we were going for it, me and my dev. There was a little us arguing back and forth. Because it was just so frustrating. It was like difficult of trying to get like, I mean, from the
I
trying to
can
showcase
imagine
like the
that
text.
kind of the creative visionary artist talking to the dev executor. I've never been in a room like that before.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing. It's really beautiful to see like the relationship and the fights, but also like when it works and everyone's like, okay, that's it. Right? And the alignment, like, okay, we did it. And I mean, going from like the curvatures and like the braids and the animation and all these things was so difficult. But I am beyond grateful and thankful for the experience, and has only made me appreciate Gen Art even more. It only has made me appreciate the OGs in the space even more, um in that realm. And it has only, if anything, increased the love that I've had for art. I didn't know anything about Gen Art until I came into Web3. So it just that's the thing of just like being in the space and being exposed to things, and also leaning into these things of curiosity. I'm very curious. That's how I got into the space. It's just me being like, okay, this is something new. What can we do here? What do I have to lose here? And what can I gain? And I've gained so much. And yeah, with that piece, it was also very vulnerable for me, because I don't think I've ever touched upon something that has really, I mean, I've done it with the puppet here and there and stuff like that, but this was really like to the core. And hair has always been an issue for me, being, this black dude growing up, and it's either, oh, you can't get this job because you have this, you might have to shave your hair off and things like that. It just came to the point where it's like, I'm not gonna shave my hair. I'm gonna do this because why? This is, I have all the accolades and accomplishments. If you can't see me for that, then I don't know what the issue. Like I'm not supposed to be there. And so, but those are conversations I had to have internally, and I had to like build myself up. So even when it came to this part where I kind of felt like I was falling into that again, with this piece, I was like, okay, no, I want to like really channel this and put it in my work. And I was really scared because I'm like, I'm not sure if people are gonna get this. I'm not sure if people are gonna like this. And yeah, you still have people that don't get it, but I know I won because I was able to put my truth out there, and I had people hitting me up saying, thank you so much for putting that piece. This is historic. I had people telling me this is history on the blockchain. And that there really does something to you when you're like, thank you so much for seeing that. Like when you put so much work into something, and you're putting it out there because something has happened to you, and this is the only way you can like really like deal with it, is putting it in work, and people understanding that, that there does it's hard to even put in a like find a word for it. And I'm just so thankful for like the love, even like Prohibition just saying, wow, we like people just were like, we haven't seen anything like this. And I was like, I know. And I say I know because there is beauty, but there's also like this scariness in trying things that are new, right? And I always want people to like to always go into that, lean into that. Like I understand it's scary because we haven't seen anyone do it before, but there is something to say if it's in your head, if it's a vision, if God is giving that vision, it's because maybe you have that power to really act on it and do it. And I think a lot of times when it comes to us creators, artists, sometimes we are afraid to do these things because we're not sure if the world is ready for us. And the world may not be ready. That doesn't mean you're not ready to put it out there. So you know, I really do hope that that you guys love that piece as well. And I've seen so many love. I've received so much love from that, and that was especially during the bear market. That was something where I was like, oh man, thank you so much. So yeah, man, I thank you so much for bringing that up as well. I love talking about that collection.
Absolutely. And I think Andy can attest to this. When we last spoke, you said something super profound to us after we watched the finals of the video. And I think naturally, folks who may not be familiar with your work or trying to find meaning within the music and lyrics, it's just incredible how the I Need Friends is there and the idea of VeeFriends and VeeCon and coming together. And you see Ed B the puppet dancing solo at the end. And I remember asking you about that. It was so profound. You told me it's so important to make sure that everyone finds the friend within themselves first before
Hmm.
connecting with others, and that being so important. And it matches, certain sayings of loving yourself first before others. And it's so profound that you mentioned that. And after you said that, it just clicked for me, and it all just started making sense in the through line. And it was
Because
just
yeah, absolutely. Because that's kind of how that song came about. I was in this place where I was like, man, I need friends, but do I really need like other people in my circle? Or do I need to make sure that I'm my own friend first before I have other people? I think a lot of times we have these like those friends that we consider friends can sometimes be distractions because we don't even have the love for ourselves, and so how are you able to love others when you don't really love yourself, when you can't be your own, when you can't see yourself in the mirror and say I love you? you know I think it's still kind of hard for a lot of people to say, oh, I love you, I love who I am. Even though I have some problems or whatever, I still love who you are, right? I think it's a lot of difficult. It's still very difficult for people to even say that, or even mouth those words to themselves in the mirror. Um, and so I was like, okay, let me put that in a song. And it was like me going through these things. And so when VeeFriends came about, um, and me when I came to this, like doing this piece, it was showcasing like a lot of times. So I love dancing, and and a lot of times people just like, oh, do you need to dance with somebody? I don't need to dance with anybody. Usually, if the music is great and stuff like that, I would dance by myself. But a lot of times people don't understand, like, I love myself so much that I can go into anywhere and I would dance with, because that is a conversation within myself. That is what's happening here. And I think a lot of times we forget that. We forget that sometimes you're enough. Like if you love yourself, and like if you have that love, if you're that friend to yourself, that is enough, right? Um, and I really want to like really put that, like clarify that, because I think sometimes we forget that um being your friend is the most important thing. And I don't know why that maybe it's just like we get distracted with things. Um, but that was something that I really wanted to also push, that narrative of it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to have those check-ins. It's okay to say, hey, how you doing? Um,
It's
and
required.
right, it's necessary.
It's
It's
necessary.
necessary to tap into that, so you can also, because it's not, when you do that work, that inner work, it's much more easier to have conversations with other people. It's way more it's more easier to have conversations with no ego in the way, or any of those issues in the way, distraction, because
You
those
have to
don't
have
matter,
the courage to have
right?
that convo and look yourself in the mirror sometimes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times we're afraid to do that. And so that was with this piece was, believe it or not, like I didn't expect for like I just was like I didn't expect for it to really go deep into the layers, but I am an artist who loves to like make sure that there's intentionality there. And so, but that conversation that I did have with you all, and Gary Vee being really honest, he was like, I'm just tired of people like the world is just sad. And when he said that, I said, man, it is. And there's a lot of things, like people don't like each other, but people aren't liking themselves, right? And those things, like that's what it is. So how do we find ways to make sure that we can rid that? And that was like my way of like showcasing that. And so sometimes, if anything, that mirror is like me, like I dance in the mirror sometimes. That's gonna be a snap, right? But like that like, in a way, that was like the puppy that's dancing, dancing, in the middle in his room by himself as well. Like I want people to be like, oh, what is he doing? Like, what is he channeling? And he's really like having that conversation. And I think sometimes people think the conversation is only verbally. No, I'm an artist. The conversation could be through making art. The conversation could be through dancing. It's just making sure that you are legit doing those things, doing that work to do that. So yeah.
Thanks for sharing all that, Ed. What I want to be respectful of your time. I know you're halfway across,
Yeah.
you're all the way across the world right now, joining us from the future in South Korea. What is next for you? What's next for Ed Balloon outside of me trying to make you commit to VeeCon 2024? I want to know. I want you to be able to share what's next, and then just where can people find you? I want to make sure people know your Twitter, your Spotify, where they can go to
Yeah.
stay tuned and follow up.
So I think I will be doing a drop with Gala Music. I'm not too sure yet, but that might be coming. Another one. And that will be a single off of my vinyl. Yeah, I am Ed Balloon, Ed_Balloon on Twitter or X now we call it. I'm also on Instagram as just Ed Balloon. I'm really pretty much kind of active though, so you can see me around. Just give me the follow, I guess. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to a 2024 VeeCon. I can't, we'll see, but like, that is something I'm like, and I don't think I'm the only one. I think a lot of us are like, okay, when's the next VeeCon? I think we were really pumped from, I was just in, with that fellas in, out here in Seoul, and a lot of artists that were out at VeeCon, we were like, man, VeeCon was one of the best, was like actually one of the best conferences we went this year. It was like, it had everything. We were like all together. We were seeing people that we haven't seen before, building new relationships. It really checked off the boxes. And I think a lot of us are like, man, when's the next one? So yeah, I would definitely let you know, Annie, that a lot of us artists we're definitely waiting for that announcement. So so no pressure,
We got it. I'm on the record now by the end of the month. So, thanks so much, Ed. Thank you for being.
Thank you so much, y'all.
2023 artist. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everyone joining us on Meets.
Thank you for the love, y'all.
Social. Daniel, another exceptional.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Yeah, flowers.
Thank you so much for the love. I love the VeeCon team. You guys were amazing, by the way. Thank you so much for the consistency and everything. Really appreciate y'all. All right.
Thank you. Safe travels.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Ed.
Bye.
All right. That's a wrap, everyone. Andy, how you feeling? Like, Ed literally to me embodies everything that VeeFriends is all about, that VeeCon is all about. Just a genuine dude, an incredible artist, a great message, giving back to the community, and is just active, engaging, has been here as an OG. And the fact that he gets to be part of what we're building here, part of the VeeCon artist alumni, so to speak, and part of the VeeFriends and VeeCon family. Like, I couldn't be more thrilled to have a better human being to be showcased as the featured artist for VeeCon 2023 tickets.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I do want to encourage the VeeFriends community. We are going to slowly but surely pressure Ed to release the I Need Friends track. We're going to get the plays on our NFT tickets, but that Spotify track in full, I feel like needs a heavy bump. It's a great track. Ed, as you said, Daniel is an amazing person. I'm excited. Timing wise, we've been talking to Ed for a long time. He came and experienced VeeCon and then following VeeCon, he drew all the inspiration to create this artwork. I'm excited that we revealed the artwork and that we are now officially on our way towards VeeCon 2024. Announcement is coming by the end of the month. Thank you again to everyone tuning in. Thank you to the VeeFriends team, Jeremy, Tyler, May, rocking with us on the live stream, Ginger, Nat, Michelle. I love you guys. Appreciate you all. We will see you at VeeCon. Thanks, guys.